From FS Securities. We are an education and information firm on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. And every morning I go through what happened overnight in the financial markets and try to forecast what we may see these coming days or weeks. I show you how investors and traders can make money on our market and the global market. I show you what is hot and what is not, and what you should hold and what you should fold. And by the way, if you like the presentation, why don't you review it, share it, and give us any feedback that you may want to give us. Well, overnight we can see here that the Dow was up 11 points. Actually, it was a roller coaster. It went up and up and up and up, and then came down like a thunder. And however, the S&P 500, after reaching all-time high, eventually dropped nearly 1%. And the Nasdaq had a major blow with 2% down. In Europe, the Stoxx 50 index, which comprises most major European markets, was up 1.6%. The FTSE 100 index was up 1.3%. And of course, you can compare what happened this morning to what happened the previous 2 days. And this presentation will be on the website shortly. And in Japan, the Nikkei index was up 2.2%. In China, the Shanghai index was up 2.1% after falling 1.8% yesterday. Well, yesterday our market, we went up nearly 1%, 58 points higher. However, the day before we lost 36 points. Gold shot up to $18.14. That's up $13 from this time yesterday morning. And silver, 19.79, nearly 75 cents up. Brent oil about $1 down per barrel, and West Texas crude oil slightly down by 40 cents or 45 cents. Soybeans, you can see here, dropped nearly 2% after falling 1.2% the day before. Obviously, China is not happy with the American soybeans. The Australian dollar, 69.4, that's US cents, 61.2 euro cents, 55.3 British pence, and also 106 New Zealand. And by the way, for those people who follow iron ore yesterday shot up 4.5%, shot up to $111.09 US per ton. That's the highest level for many, many months. And Bitcoin trading down 55 US dollars down to 9,230. And that converts to approximately 13,290 Australian dollars, down $80 from this time yesterday. Okay, now in terms of looking at the charts, this is the American Dow Jones, the weekly and daily. You can see the market shot up. Well, that's the weekly. And you can see here the daily shot up really up to nearly 26,500 and then fell off the last 2 hours of trades. So that's an interesting development here. And the Australian market, the ASX 200, as you can see here, hovering between the 50% retracement from the highest level recently to the lowest level recently, and trying to get above the 61.8%, and it's not able to do it. And yesterday we had a good day. However, at the end of the day we lost a little bit of the market, as you can see here. Now our mechanical system, which we designed many years ago, we look at the indicators on the weekly and the daily and the monthly. The investor, this is the weekly, we change it only once a week, and this is the daily, we change it every day. And you can see that for the investor, we look at the monthly and the weekly. For the traders, we look at the weekly and the daily, and for the very aggressive trader, we look at the daily and the hourly. Remember, the very aggressive trader will in and out of the market maybe several times during the day, or at least between a couple of days. And the conservative trader trades within weeks. And you can see that the American market, mainly bullish, still bullish. Gold remaining bullish, silver remaining bullish. However, crude oil, that's the West Texas crude oil, we've gone from very strongly bullish across the conservative, aggressive and very aggressive trader. We dropped a bit for the conservative trader, and now we are neutral across all type of investors and traders. Soybeans, we started to show that it's actually showing a bit of bearish signal here for the very aggressive trader. Australian dollar, slightly less bullish. However, the euro versus the US, very strongly bullish. And the British pound, for the very aggressive, we are bullish. Now, our sectors, you can see here that gold is very strongly bullish. Materials, that's BHP, Rio and Fortescue. And consumer staples, that's we're talking about Woolworths, Coles. People are still buying toilet papers. Now, in terms of our stocks, the weekly, you can see here that we, on Saturday morning, on the 10th, we said we're very strongly bullish on BHP. And because of the iron ore price going up yesterday, I assume that BHP will, for this week, will probably remain strong. Telstra also remains strong this week. And we look at the daily now. And this is what we have this morning at 8:39 this morning. BHP very strongly bullish. Newcrest Mines very strongly bullish. Rio very strongly bullish. Telstra remains relatively bullish. And in terms of bearish, and mainly for the aggressive and the very aggressive trader, we've got CIMIC, the Outlet and Holdings, NAB, Santos, Suncorp, Transurban, Westpac and Worley. Okay, now in terms of volume, we watch volume. It's interesting, every day we have an up day, the volume goes up. Every time we have a day down, that's the declines versus advances, we see that the volume goes down. So that's an interesting development. So when the market is excited, it brings a lot more people into the market. And when the market goes down, people wait to see what happens the following day. Okay, so that's a very important thing for us. We like to watch the volume. Now, yesterday, in terms of the most active, we've seen OpenDay, 38% up yesterday, 38% up. South 32. Fortescue was up 3.4%, and again Fortescue was up the day before as well. And all these companies that are painted yellow, they are actually 2 days in a row of advances or appearing to be strong. Announcement today, what news that may affect the market. Here we've got the Australian market. Tuesday at 11:30 we have the NAB business confidence, trade balance for China. We're expecting China to have a surplus of $410 billion. Not bad, eh? And that's in terms of US, translates to $58.3 billion. Apart from that, yesterday and on Friday, anything exciting here? Natural gas storage, 56 billion gallon. US PPI, that's the index for purchasing, was down 0.2%. Okay, finally, every morning we go and we scan the market for companies that had extra volume. And of course, extra volume with extra price appears here. So South 32 was up nearly 4% yesterday, with 17% above the daily average volume. We look at 50 days of volumes, we work out the average, that is the moving average, and we compare yesterday volume with that average. You can see 22 million versus 19 million. Ramsey went down 1.7%. The volume was almost steady. Sandfire Resources was up 1.6%, 9% up in the volume. This company here, Dacian Gold, we need to do more analysis, down nearly 19%, and the volume was nearly 600 times. So this is actually in trouble. Okay, finally, we'll give you the disclosure. Before we go, now I'd like to show you what we're doing in CFDs. Our market is 3,528. They are the ones that we are trading. We're slightly up from the day before. And we've got some ASX 200, ANZ Bank, Main Pharma, Paladin making a bit of money, and Zip went up by nearly 30% in the last week. Okay, finally the disclosure. Everything we said to you today is actually for general advice only. Before you take any action, please talk to us or talk to your professional advisor. There is no guarantee that everything will turn gold. Of course, there is risk in the market, and you need to understand your risk appetite as a trader or an investor. If you have any questions, all you have to do is ask, and you can write to me at george@fsecurities.com.au, or you can send me a text. If you're ringing from overseas, 61 is the country code. You don't need the 0. Overseas people, 61-411-259526. And if you're calling me or sending me a text locally, it's 0411-259526. Happy trading, and I hope you make some money.